Today I'm going to teach you a new technique called constructions, and constructions have been used for hundreds of years to draw all sorts of things, from art to inventions to buildings, all sorts of things where we need to measure different parts. Even artists take and use constructions when they're measuring various lengths for how body parts are proportional to each other and so on. So these relate to other things in life, and we're going to show you how these relate to the geometry things we've been doing. We're going to do segments and angles today, and we're going to also talk about parallel and perpendicular. These go right in with what we have been doing and what we're about to start. In order to do constructions, you just need a pencil of some kind, a compass. Now a compass is actually this right here that you've used before to draw circles with. These that I have are new in my classroom, and so I want you to be careful with them. You know, you open them up and you close them, but you should not be opening them very far. Everything we're going to do is relatively small, so you're really working with an area, you know, like this. They should not be opened up all the way. These aren't terribly sharp, so you're not going to hurt yourself, but you should use common sense. I shouldn't have to say it, but use common sense. Don't use these and, you know, poke anyone with it or something. That's not funny. When you get started, these parts should be even when they're together, and if you need to sharpen this pencil, you can sharpen it, but they really shouldn't get very dull, so you shouldn't need to do that very often. Alright, you're also going to need a straight edge. It could be a ruler, but honestly, I'm just going to use the back of my badge. I'm going to use the edge of it, because we are not measuring with this. All we're doing is using it literally to draw straight lines. And then I'm also going to have a colored pencil to outline my final product, so I can show you the final product. The important thing as we work through this is that you're doing the technique we're describing here. Today is about showing you how to do constructions, and you showing me that you're doing the constructions the right way. They have to have all the lines on there. They have to have all the arcs on there. Do not erase the arcs and the lines. They must be there or you don't get credit for it. Also, don't try to fake me out by pretending to draw them and draw them in, you know, by hand instead of actually using the compass. I can tell the difference. Alright, so we're going to start with an easy one here, this line segment, and I'm going to show you how to do it. First, in order to do a line segment, you need to draw a line. And what you should do is, you should do each of these steps with me, pause the video, and rewind as you need. So draw a line segment. It doesn't matter where it is, just draw a line segment over here. And it should be slightly longer than the one we want to draw. We're also going to put a point on there for where we're going to start. So then you take your compass and you're going to put it and make it the length of this segment here. When you're working on this, you're going to have it standing up like this to get it the exact length of this segment. I'm going to lean mine over so you can see what I'm doing. So you have one end on this end, and you're going to get the pencil so it's exactly right there at the end, and it's exactly this length. Now I'm going to hold it without letting that move. It's still the same length. I'm going to keep it at this distance without moving it. Now if I put my point where my dot was, and I draw a small arc here, that's an arc. It's part of a circle, that's an arc. This length from here to here is now the same length I had over here. I've exactly transferred that length. So now I can come back with my pencil or my colored pencil and draw that segment in darker. There's my answer right there. Notice that I am going to leave everything else. I'm leaving my line I started with. I'm leaving my arc. Yours should look just like mine with the arc and the extra line there. Also, when you come back, if you come back with a colored pencil or another pencil to draw over it, you still have to use a straight edge. I can tell the difference. You need to use the straight edge. So now we're going to do one where it's the sum of these two pieces. Well, the sum means I'm going to do this one and this one added together on a line. So we're going to do it the exact same technique as this one. We're just going to do two lines there. So draw a line out you're going to put them on. Put a point to start. Measure the first line. Again, I'm kind of laying mine down so you can see it. Yours will probably be standing up when you're measuring. Start at the point there and draw your arc. Now if I want to add on the second line, I'm going to get that exact measurement. And now instead of starting at my point here, I want to add this one onto the other one. So I'm going to put my point right there and I'm going to put and do another arc here. Now my line segment to show both of these is I take my straight edge again, and I'm going to go over the top of it. I started here, and I went to this arc. There's my segment with the sum of these two. Now this says the difference. Difference means to subtract. So I'm going to do my first one the same way. I'm going to draw the bigger one first, and then I'm going to take off the smaller one. So here's my line. Here's my point where I'm going to begin. I'm going to start with the bigger one. And draw my arc. The important thing is that I have the arc where it's crossing right there, because that's what I care about. Then I'm going to take my smaller one, and I could take the smaller one off of either end. I think I'm going to take it off of this end. So I'm going to start here, and going back toward the beginning, take the smaller one off. So here I have the big one, and then I took off the smaller one, and this part is what's left. So using my straight edge one more time, come in here and draw that in. Okay, if you have not paused and done the first three, you should pause the video, go back, watch each segment, and finish all three of these before you move on to the next part. Okay, the next part says that we want to make one twice as long as this. So I'm going to start off with a line, just like I had before, and a point to start with, and I'm going to get the length of this. And I'm going to put this on my line, just like I've been doing on every one of them. Now, if I want a line segment that's twice as long as this, what should I do? Well, that's the same length, so if I put one more on there, that'll be twice the length. Now I can draw that in with my straight edge. Notice I'm going back to the straight edge every time I draw a line. Now it says construct a line segment half the length of this. So I'm once again, every time, notice I'm starting with a line. And I'm going to start with the point where I'm going to put it. So first I need to transfer this line over here. So now I have this line that's exactly the length of that one. Now I need to find the middle of this line, and we're going to be doing this several different times. So what I'm going to do is I can put this at any distance that's smaller than this line. Honestly, you want this to be just a little over halfway. So something like a third of the way over works really good for this. So about a third of the way over. And we're going to do this multiple times, as I said, so about a third of the way over. And you're going to take it and you're going to draw an arc. And you want it to be a pretty big arc, almost a half circle there. And then I'm going to put my point on the other end and do the same thing. And I need these two arcs to cross in two places. So it crosses here and it crosses here. I'm still using just my pencil, not my red pencil yet. And now if I draw a line right through those, what I've done is I've made a line that's perpendicular to this exactly halfway through. So again, what I did is I took this end, did a half circle here, kept this same exact setting on here, and did it from the other end as well. I made sure my arcs crossed at the top and bottom, and then I drew a line there. Now to get a line segment that's half as long as this, I just need to go from here to the middle. So I'm going to use my straight edge and do that. And there it is. Alright, that's the end of video part 1. You should have all 5 of these done. If you have not done all 5 of these, pause the video, go back, and do those 5.